What's going on, guys? Steele here. Today I am showing you a Tom Krein folder. This is his Alpha model. I got on Tom Krein's list for the Alpha, I believe it was about 2 years ago. He opened up his books and I got around the tail end. So yeah, 2-year wait later and I finally have one. But I was very happy to get on his list. It's not very easy to do. And more just worked out for me to be on the USN at the time he opened it, and I think I was one of the last people to get on. And his list is pretty hard to get on now. I don't know when he'll open it again. So yeah, I feel quite happy to have gotten the chance and opportunity to get on it. I got mine in, obviously, an orange scale. It's contoured with the liner version, and it rides on bearings. And then I also got the orange peel finish on the titanium, which I really like. I think the orange peel finish seems kind of underutilized. I think it's a really neat, unique finish. It's just really cool. And then I went with the milled pocket clip. I think he just more recently started doing this. He normally had like a bent pocket clip that looked a little more bent, like a Spyderco Hourglass one. And like this one does ride on bearings, and it is silly smooth. So he mainly does just hollow grinds on his folders as far as I'm aware. I don't think he's ever done any others. So I went with his higher, I think he calls it a performance hollow grind. It's much higher, and I said, which probably seems kind of silly to tell Tom, but I was like, I'll take it as thin as you'll want to grind it. Or told him, take it as thin as you want to take it. And he went quite thin. It's probably, I calipered it, and all through the belly to just under the tip, it pretty much is 10 to 13 thousandths thick, and the tip just a little bit more. So that's quite thin for a folder, and I'm quite happy with that. And the hollow grind performs well. You know, I would have preferred a super thin flat grind if that were an option, but it wasn't in this case. So very nice swedge. And I just picked CPM 154. I really like CPM 154. From my understanding, it's actually one of the few steels that was kind of produced around going into cutlery versus a lot of the other steels which are crossed over from other industries like M390 and LMAX, you know, things like that. So yeah, you can see though, excellent centering. I think this knife kind of is the perfect EDC for me, really. It's not very big, but the ergonomics on it are just excellent. No hot spots, even with the clip. And I don't know, it just fits my hand perfect. Like I said, it's not overly big, it's not overly heavy. It's usable, good performance. The lockup's even better than the Sebenza that I had. Feels even better than that, which I didn't really think would be possible, but I know Tom really takes his time in setting the locks on these. But just excellently, superbly done. I went a little more simplistic. Tom will go insanely crazy on the builds if you want to. But the price point is a little higher than a Sebenza being a custom, so that's already quite a bit for me. But if it's too fancy, I'll be too scared to use it almost. I don't know, this is just, I went kind of in the medium ground. To me, this looks excellent. I love it. So yeah, super happy to have it. It's a smaller knife. It's not, that's one thing, it's not like you can get it in a production. It's actually not a whole lot larger than a Delica 4. Actually, it's not larger. It's the same size, really. almost exactly the same size. Delica may just have a smidge of handle longer, but the ergonomics are better on the Krein because it's more neutral. So my fingers don't, although I love the Delica, my fingers don't completely fit in the grooves always the greatest. But again, with the Krein, the Alpha, it just very neutral and excellent in all grips. If you had to go like this, you can use this forward part too as a bit of a choil. I wouldn't do anything too extreme, but you can choke up on it like that if you want. So like with all Tom's designs, the ergonomics are normally well thought out. I've not handled any of his knives that were uncomfortable. So a few other comparisons. I don't know the weight. I forgot to check on that. But yeah, to put it in perspective against the Paramilitary 2, I don't know, I probably wouldn't have thought before I had gotten one really that it was smaller than even a Paramilitary 2, but it is. But the Paramilitary 2 kind of has some extra real estate, if you catch my drift, with like the choil and the bird's beak kind of in the handle, to where the cutting edges with the belly on the Alpha and then the handle just being more compact, you get the same amount of grip space on the Alpha, and you don't really lose much actual cutting edge with the belly over the Paramilitary 2. So if you kind of cut out the extras on the Paramilitary 2, they'd be about even, but obviously different designs. So yeah, that's just a quick look at that. I've been carrying it and using it. I don't know what else to say. It's just a stellar design, and from a great maker who knows what he's doing, and I'm just very glad to have it. It's frame lock, obviously. I don't know why I'm saying frame lock. I already said that. I'm starting to lose my momentum of speech. There's the Lockup. Again, superb. And it does right on the bearings, like I said. Also, very smooth. So, alright guys, since I'm starting to stumble for words, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and I'll be happy to answer them. And as always, thanks for watching.